First of all, thank you, Universal Peace Federation, for giving me the opportunity once again. And thank you, everyone, for willing to listen to the 21st century youth. Not long ago, you were here, and I was not born. But now I'm here, and tomorrow, I believe, I'll be there taking your place. But the cycle will continue. I believe this cycle, as a whole, doesn't have to be pushed around. It'll take its form, but it is our role to identify what is important to push this cycle on a positive direction. And I believe each and every one of you who are gathered over here are the architects of the cycle to make this world a beautiful place to live. That's why you're here today. So thank you for that. And I have got a couple of observations which I want to summarize during the course of the day. I believe our justice, where is he? A judge, okay, he has left now. And he was trying to say something, and I heard few murmurs from the last row, okay? I don't want to point out, but there were few words being said to his comments. The first thing I think this is pointing towards is cooperation. But what I want to say to you is having the tolerance to listen to your opponents. Having the tolerance to have the right of opinion your opponents have respected. It can be for anything. They come here to register their opinion, and I believe if you're being tolerant and your opponent is also tolerant, I think this world will be a better place with peace can be there. Okay? So saying that, as it's a very interesting topic, and I believe a lot of senior leaders, and I'm a bit shaken after hearing a lot of intellectual thoughts from a very old lady of 17 years old, and from a young person, Matteo, which is amazing, truly. And I believe, and I preach, there is only one being as a supreme being, okay, which talks about love, humanity, and peace. That's what in Islam, I'm from Muslim community, that's what Islam says, lakum dinaka waliyadin. Lakum dinaka waliyadin means their own way of, their way is there, respect their way, your way is your way. Have the tolerance within yourself. You know, India is a country where I come from, we said unity in diversity. That's unity in diversity. So have this unity within diversity for each and every one of us so we can live in peace and harmony. And I want to quote again Matthew's one where he said about the religious leaders and political leaders and the fuming of media. And Matthew, I don't know whether you heard my last one, which I think prevention of, I think Keith was with me, prevention of radicalization in the Commonwealth. I quoted the three words. It's called maximum retail price, MRP. MRP, maximum retail price. But the actual meaning of that is M stands for media, R stands for religious leaders, and P stands for political leaders. So we are giving the maximum retail price for their actions. Do we really have to give that? We don't have to. Actually, I'm writing a book, so please don't copyright it. I've copyrighted it anyway on this MRP. So our actions are fueled by certain actions. And again, when we look into these actions, I want to quote an intellectual quote, which I heard from, I think Keith can say to me, I think it was one of those, one of the best ones. The newspaper, if you don't read the newspaper, you are uninformed, you become a fool. But if you do read the newspaper, you are misinformed. So these are the things which we are going through, because if you look into certain words which are happening in UK today, you and me don't want to stay here, because when I've been to Albania, different countries, different Balkan countries, different region, and they have so many problems within their region, so many of them, from poverty to whatever God knows they have. But the first thing they want to come and ask me, how is Brexit? They leave all those problems behind. They want to come to me and ask me one single question. How is your country doing? We think you're having a lot of misery. Okay, let me help you out. Okay, so I think as we are the mother of democracy, we invented democracy and constitution, and we gave it to the whole world as a gift. Okay, and today there are countries from the Gulf countries who are taking our constitution and bringing it there as their constitution, which proves we have a lot of light within us. And I think this light can be shared across. And I believe there are a lot of petty feuds here and there, words to monger for publicity. Certain people want to do it for certain actions. But we as a people have to bring in this tolerance level to rise up to this occasion and go and cast our anger in the ballot paper, not anywhere else, not in Twitter. Planting time bombs in Twitter, not building walls, build bridges. That's what I believe our Keith Best was talking about. And it comes to, when I come to a conclusion, when I see how many of you over here want peace in this world? Half the crowd is, yeah, half the crowd don't want peace. Okay, let's see. I believe they want peace in their heart, but they don't want the hands to be raised. Anyway, coming to the point, when we want peace, what is the foundation of peace? I want to answer from one of you. What is the foundation of peace? Sorry? What? Love, fellow. Okay, respect. Yeah. What is all combined to? How does love come? How are you going to teach your son about love? It's through education. Am I right? It's through education. Teach not hatred, teach love, correct? So what I've done in India, it started in India, I made a program and called it Passport to Future. I believe Sonu knows about that. Passport to Future. There's a big question mark hanging there. What does Passport to Future mean? So question mark there, and everybody has their own opinion. They come together. There is almost, on the 2-day seminar, we had almost 17,500 people there. Okay, it's quite a big gathering, I believe, but I believe this movement will grow. The question mark and the answer to that is where we end up there is moral education. Moral education. The foundation of peace is moral education. Without moral education, say for example, you saw love, you called in trust, loyalty, honesty, judgmental. All these things comes as a whole in moral education. So what I've done is I've made a group of movement, created a movement, and collected 14,000 signatures so far. Okay? And this is like, I believe again, Keith, I have to go to you because you said just in a minute of time they're gathered against the parliament. What does it mean? It's just a plebiscite. Sorry, it's not a plebiscite movement. This is actually trying to make a movement happen where all these people are registering for a moral education to be accepted as a day to be celebrated by United Nations. Because imagine one day is the day when we go to Father's Day, Mother's Day. We want to celebrate the father. Take a picture. Oh, father, here we go. We take a picture with you. We celebrate Christmas on one day. But remembering Moral Education Day, I think the peace can be moved across. What is moral education? Moral education means peace, love, being humble, being honest. So this moral education, I think it's going to transform the society. So I need all of you who raised their hand and who didn't raise their hand, with your hearts, support this petition to United Nations, because I want United Nations to support moral education as a day, World Moral Education Day to happen, so all of us can live in this world with peace. So I have just wrote a small poem. Let me finish up with this poem. So what I believe is to be a moral education. This is a small poem what I wrote, like a father or a mother or an elderly person saying it to a small young child. So this poem starts, I call it a poem, whether it's up to you to call it a poem or not. So it says, listen to me, son. Listen to me, son. The day is coming. You and me can live in peace. Men may come, men may go. Let's share a world where love can flow. All those days of toil are over. I see amity and peace all over. I found the road at ease. Let me show you the route so we can all live in peace. The road I took has many stops. Embrace it fully, no swaps. One stop is called honesty, other being just, followed by generous, love, and care. Well, I admit all stops are fair. There she is, gates to peace, with education holding its keys. What education is that, my Lord? I wondered. World moral education is where it all ended. Thank you.